What if the mysteries of the universe are beyond our current understanding? Have you ever wondered if everything you know about the universe is just a tiny fraction of the whole truth? Imagine a world where the things you thought you understood, like gravity, time, or even the laws of nature, are just pieces of a larger puzzle that's still waiting to be solved. What if I told you that science, for all its incredible achievements, has only scratched the surface? That there are phenomena out there so baffling, so mind-bending, that no theory or equation has been able to explain them fully. Science has unraveled many of the universe's secrets, from the movements of the stars to the inner workings of the atom. We've mapped out the solar system, unlocked the genetic code, and even sent humans to the moon. But despite all these breakthroughs, there are still mysteries that stubbornly resist explanation. From strange disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle to the baffling powers of the placebo effect, the world is filled with phenomena that challenge everything we thought we knew. What does that say about the limits of our knowledge? Are we really as advanced as we think? Or are there vast parts of the universe and even our own minds that remain untapped, waiting to be discovered? Even today, scientists still wrestle with questions that defy the tools of their trade. You'd think by now we'd have it all figured out, but some mysteries are so elusive, they seem almost impossible to solve. Could it be that these mysteries are beyond the scope of science itself? Or are we simply missing the right questions, the right tools, or the right perspectives? In this journey, we're going to dive into some of the most confounding and mind-altering phenomena that have stumped scientists for centuries. These mysteries leave us with more questions than answers, and they force us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the universe. Some of these phenomena are so strange that they might make you question the very fabric of reality. Are we just on the brink of understanding them, or are they so far beyond our comprehension that we may never truly solve them? Either way, the pursuit of these answers is what makes science and life itself so thrilling. So, what if the mysteries of the universe are far more complex than we realize? Could the truth be stranger than we can imagine? Let's explore the unsolved mysteries that challenge the limits of human knowledge. The truth might be even stranger than fiction. Science, as we know it today, represents humanity's relentless pursuit of understanding the natural world. Over centuries, we have witnessed monumental breakthroughs that have shaped our world, leading us to a place where our understanding of the universe is more advanced than ever. From ancient philosophers like Aristotle and Pythagoras, whose early inquiries into the world around them laid the groundwork for scientific thought, to modern-day pioneers like Stephen Hawking and Marie Curie, science has continuously evolved, building on the discoveries of those who came before us. Throughout history, scientists have chipped away at the great mysteries of existence, creating a detailed map of our world and beyond. We've deciphered the laws of nature, unlocked the secrets of the atom, and ventured into the furthest reaches of space. Humanity's exploration of space alone is an extraordinary testament to our scientific achievements. The very idea of launching a probe into the cold expanse of interstellar space seemed like a wild fantasy not too long ago. Yet today, we've sent spacecraft to distant planets, moons, and even to the outer edges of the solar system, such as the New Horizons mission to Pluto. Perhaps one of the greatest achievements of modern science has been its ability to predict and explain the phenomena we observe. Take gravity, for example, once an elusive force that perplexed early thinkers. Today, we understand that gravity is not simply a force pulling objects down to Earth, but a curvature of space-time itself, as described in Einstein's theory of relativity. This understanding revolutionized our comprehension of the universe. leading to groundbreaking insights into the nature of space and time. Similarly, quantum mechanics, with its strange and counterintuitive ideas about particles behaving like both waves and particles, has opened up an entirely new realm of inquiry, challenging not only how we view the universe, but also what we know about the very nature of reality itself. These scientific milestones have given humanity not just answers but an appreciation for the vast complexity of the universe. Each new discovery seems to create more questions, pushing us to continue asking deeper, more profound questions about our existence and the cosmos. Science, with its methodical approach and rigorous testing, has expanded our worldview, allowing us to probe the hidden corners of nature and the cosmos that once seemed beyond our grasp. However, for all its accomplishments, science is not without its limits. As much as we've learned, we've also encountered vast regions of the unknown that challenge our understanding and defy explanation. Despite our advancements, there are still questions that science cannot answer and phenomena that continue to elude even the most sophisticated technology and methodologies. One of the most significant areas where science is still in the dark is the nature of consciousness. While scientists have mapped brain activity, identified the regions of the brain involved in different cognitive functions, and developed technologies to monitor neural activity, we still don't understand the fundamental nature of consciousness. How does the subjective experience of awareness arise from the firing of neurons? How do we go from being mere biological organisms to beings capable of self-awareness, creativity, and emotions? Despite decades of research, consciousness remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in science. Another major mystery is dark matter, a substance that makes up approximately 27% of the universe, yet remains completely invisible to us. While we know dark matter exists because of its gravitational effects on visible matter, scientists have been unable to directly detect it. We can infer its presence based on the way galaxies spin and how gravitational forces behave, but we cannot see it or interact with it in any tangible way. This paradoxical substance challenges our understanding of matter and forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the structure of the universe. And then there's the origin of life. While science has made tremendous strides in understanding the building blocks of life, such as the discovery of DNA, the exact process by which life emerged from inanimate matter remains elusive. Was life a random accident, or is there some hidden mechanism behind it? Are there other forms of life in the universe, and if so, how would they be different from us? These questions go beyond our current scientific understanding and remain some of the most profound mysteries we face. These gaps in scientific knowledge raise an important question. If science has provided so many answers, why do certain phenomena still resist explanation? Could it be that there are forces at work that we are simply not equipped to understand with the tools we currently have? Could the limits of science be a reflection of the limits of human cognition and perception? In the face of these unanswered questions, humanity has often turned to mysticism, religion, and belief systems to provide answers. When science reaches its limits, people often seek solace and explanation in the supernatural, the divine, or the mystical. Throughout history, unexplained phenomena have been attributed to gods, spirits, or supernatural forces. In ancient civilizations, it was common for people to look to the heavens for answers to life's greatest mysteries, whether it was the movement of the stars or the mysteries of illness and death. Even today, when science has explained so much of the natural world, there are still individuals and communities who turn to mysticism or spirituality for answers to the questions that science cannot yet explain. Belief in the supernatural remains widespread, from the belief in ghosts and spirits to the practice of astrology and the search for meaning in ancient religious texts. For many, these beliefs offer a sense of comfort and a framework through which to make sense of the chaotic and often unsettling nature of the unknown. Interestingly, even in modern times, there are countless reports of individuals who have had experiences that defy scientific explanation. People claim to have seen apparitions, received premonitions, or experienced profound, inexplicable events that seem to defy logic and reason. These encounters, though often dismissed by scientists, have a profound impact on the individuals who experience them, leaving them questioning the very nature of reality. Whether these experiences are the result of mental illness, altered states of consciousness, or something more mysterious, they challenge the idea that the world is fully explainable by science alone. In this way, science and mysticism often coexist, offering different kinds of answers to the same fundamental questions. While science seeks to explain the world through observation, experimentation, and reasoning, mysticism and belief offer more subjective, experiential explanations that are not constrained by the methods of scientific inquiry. And for some, these two perspectives are not mutually exclusive. They live side by side, each helping to fill in the gaps where the other falls short. Throughout history, there have been numerous phenomena that science struggles to explain, each one more baffling than the last. Some of these events seem so bizarre, they could easily be mistaken for science fiction, yet they are rooted in real-world occurrences. One of the most famous and enduring mysteries is the Bermuda Triangle. This region, located in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, has become notorious for the unexplained disappearances of ships and aircraft. While there have been various theories proposed to explain these mysterious vanishings, from magnetic anomalies to underwater cities or even time warps, none have been conclusively proven. Despite extensive research and investigations, the Bermuda Triangle remains a symbol of the limits of our understanding. Another fascinating example is the placebo effect, which defies our understanding of the mind-body connection. The placebo effect occurs when a person experiences real, physical, or psychological improvement after receiving a treatment that has no active ingredients. It's as though the mere belief that a treatment will work can trigger actual changes in the body. Despite being studied extensively, the exact mechanisms behind the placebo effect remain unclear. How can belief alone cause such profound effects on our health? What does this tell us about the mind's power over the body and the very nature of healing itself? Then there's the phenomenon of spontaneous human combustion, a mysterious event where a person suddenly bursts into flames without any apparent external source of ignition. While there have been several reported cases throughout history, no one has been able to explain the phenomenon. Is it a chemical reaction within the body, or is there something more at play? Theories range from the flammability of human fat to the idea of a spark in the body, but no explanation has been universally accepted. These are just a few of the many phenomena that continue to baffle scientists and challenge our understanding of the universe. While science has made tremendous strides in explaining the natural world, it has also opened the door to more mysteries, ones that may forever remain beyond our grasp. As much as we have learned, there is still so much that remains unknown, and these unexplained phenomena serve as a reminder that science, as powerful as it is, does not hold all the answers. As we venture further into the uncharted territories of the unexplained, Scientists have offered numerous theories in an attempt to shed light on these profound mysteries. These theories are not born from speculation alone, but are grounded in years of research, observation, and experimentation. They reflect humanity's ongoing quest for knowledge and understanding of the universe. However, despite these accomplishments, many of these theories often leave us with as many questions as answers. Theories about the nature of reality, the origin of the universe, and even the concept of consciousness continue to evolve as new data becomes available. This ever-evolving landscape of scientific thought presents a paradox. The more we learn, the more we realize how much is still beyond our reach. Take, for example, the theory of relativity, one of the cornerstones of modern physics, which has completely altered our understanding of space, time, and gravity. Einstein's theory radically shifted our perception of time and space, proposing that both are not fixed, independent entities but interconnected aspects of a flexible continuum known as space-time. According to this theory, massive objects like stars and planets cause a curvature in space-time, and this bending is what we experience as gravity. The more massive the object, the greater the curvature, and the stronger the gravitational force. But relativity doesn't stop at just explaining gravity. It has wide-reaching implications for how we understand the fabric of the universe. The bending of time itself, where time slows near a massive object, is one of the most counterintuitive predictions that has been confirmed by experiments, such as the famous twin paradox. In this thought experiment, an astronaut traveling near the speed of light would age slower than someone who stayed on Earth. Yet, even as we embrace relativity, we find that it isn't the whole picture. For example, as we dive deeper into phenomena like dark matter, we begin to encounter the limitations of relativity. The fact that dark matter makes up approximately 27% of the universe's mass, but cannot be directly detected, leads us to question whether our current understanding of gravity and mass is complete. If gravity behaves differently at large cosmic scales than we think, could relativity need revision? In this sense, relativity, while powerful, may only be an incomplete theory. And this is what science constantly encounters. Theories that work within certain parameters but don't explain every facet of reality. One of the most perplexing and mind-bending fields of modern science is quantum mechanics, a branch of physics that explores the behavior of matter and energy at the smallest scales, on the level of atoms and subatomic particles. Quantum mechanics has introduced concepts that are as strange as they are fascinating, pushing our understanding of the universe to its very limits. Unlike classical physics, where objects move in predictable and deterministic paths, quantum particles exhibit behaviors that defy logic. For example, quantum mechanics suggests that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously. This is known as superposition. Imagine an electron in an atom. According to quantum theory, it doesn't occupy a single, definite location, but exists as a probability distribution spread out across space. It's only when we measure the electron that it collapses into a definite state. This concept is famously illustrated in Schrödinger's thought experiment, where a cat inside a box can be both alive and dead until the box is opened and the state is observed. Moreover, quantum mechanics presents an even more unsettling idea: the observer effect. This concept suggests that the very act of observation influences the outcome of quantum events. In other words, the universe is not simply an independent, objective reality waiting to be observed. It seems to be shaped by the very act of observation itself. This raises profound questions. Is the universe shaped by our perception of it? Does reality only become real when we observe it? Or does reality exist independently, waiting for us to discover it? These questions force us to reconsider not only the nature of reality, but also the role of consciousness itself. Are we co-creators of the universe, actively shaping the reality we experience? Or is reality an independent entity that exists regardless of our perception? The strange behaviors of particles in the quantum world challenge everything we thought we knew about the nature of existence. If particles can exist in multiple states at once, does that mean our own consciousness can influence the fabric of the universe in ways we don't yet understand? Could consciousness itself be a quantum phenomenon, emerging from the complex interactions of quantum particles in the brain? These theories continue to puzzle even the most seasoned physicists, leaving them to question whether the reality we experience is as concrete and deterministic as we believe. As we shift our focus to the more tangible elements of the universe, we come to one of the most mysterious and elusive concepts in modern astrophysics: dark matter and dark energy. Despite making up around 95% of the universe, dark matter accounts for approximately 27%. While dark energy accounts for about 68%, these two components remain invisible and undetectable by current instruments. We know they exist only because of their gravitational effects on visible matter. Dark matter, in particular, is believed to play a critical role in holding galaxies together. Without it, galaxies would fly apart. It doesn't emit, absorb, or reflect light, making it undetectable by traditional means. Yet, scientists are certain it exists because they observe its gravitational influence on the motion of galaxies and clusters of galaxies. In essence, dark matter acts like a cosmic glue, keeping galaxies intact. But what exactly is it made of? Despite extensive theoretical work, scientists have not yet been able to identify its composition. Some hypothesize that dark matter might be made up of yet undiscovered particles, such as weakly interacting massive particles, WIMPs, but these particles remain elusive. Dark energy, on the other hand, is an even more baffling concept. Unlike dark matter, which is thought to be a substance with mass, dark energy appears to have no mass or detectable properties at all. What we do know is that dark energy is responsible for the accelerated expansion of the universe. Observations show that distant galaxies are moving away from us at increasing speeds, a phenomenon that cannot be explained by the conventional laws of gravity. Instead, dark energy is thought to be a force driving this acceleration. But where does it come from? Why does it exist? And what is its true nature? These are questions that continue to stump scientists, and they force us to reconsider our current theories of physics. Dark matter and dark energy highlight the vast gaps in our understanding of the universe. If these two phenomena make up most of the cosmos, yet remain entirely invisible and undetectable, what does that say about the limits of human knowledge? How can we claim to understand the universe when such a large portion of it is still shrouded in mystery? The idea of time travel has long been a staple of science fiction, but it's also a concept that many physicists take seriously. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, time is not a fixed, unchanging entity. Instead, time is interconnected with space, forming a four-dimensional fabric known as space-time. The theory suggests that time can bend and stretch in response to the curvature of space, which raises the tantalizing possibility that time travel could be possible under certain conditions. One possible avenue for time travel involves the concept of wormholes, passages through space-time that could create shortcuts between distant points in the universe. Some scientists believe that these wormholes could allow us to travel not just through space, but also through time, potentially allowing us to visit different eras or even different versions of reality. However, wormholes remain theoretical, and there is no empirical evidence to support their existence yet. In addition to time travel, the concept of parallel universes has also garnered significant interest in the scientific community. The theory suggests that there might be multiple, perhaps infinite, universes existing alongside our own. These universes could be similar to ours or completely different, each with its own set of physical laws and realities. Some physicists propose that every decision we make creates a new universe, branching off into a parallel world where an alternative outcome occurs. This idea, known as the multiverse theory, challenges our traditional understanding of reality. Could there be other versions of ourselves living out alternate lives in different universes? And if these parallel universes exist, are they accessible? Could we, with the right technology, travel between them? These are the kinds of questions that quantum mechanics and general relativity raise, forcing us to reconsider the very nature of existence. Beyond the well-established scientific theories lies a host of more unconventional ideas, ones that challenge the foundations of our understanding of reality. Among the most controversial is the simulation hypothesis, a theory that suggests our entire reality might be a computer-generated simulation, created by a more advanced civilization than the simulation hypothesis, proposed by philosopher Nick Bostrom, argues that future civilizations with immense computational power could create simulations of entire universes, including artificial beings that live and experience a reality indistinguishable from the real one. If such simulations are possible, then it's highly probable that we are living in one ourselves. According to this line of thinking, the likelihood that we are living in a simulated reality is much higher than the chance that we live in the real world, especially if advanced civilizations can create many simulations that replicate reality in every detail. While the idea may sound like pure science fiction, it has garnered serious attention in academic circles. Some scientists, such as physicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, have suggested that there may be evidence to support this theory. For example, certain phenomena, like the apparent fine-tuning of physical constants in the universe, could be interpreted as signs of a simulated reality. If our universe were programmed by an intelligent creator, these fine-tuning effects might be the result of the simulation's underlying code. The simulation hypothesis forces us to reconsider everything we know about existence. If we live in a simulated reality, what does that mean for our consciousness? Is free will an illusion? And if our reality is simulated, who is the programmer? Could we break free of the simulation? And if so, how? Lastly, we must consider the possibility that ancient civilizations possessed knowledge far beyond their time. Throughout history, many cultures have left behind mysterious artifacts, structures, and texts that suggest they had an understanding of the universe that was far more advanced than we give them credit for. For instance, the pyramids of Egypt, built thousands of years ago, are still regarded as one of the most remarkable architectural achievements in human history. Despite the incredible advances in engineering today, we are still unable to replicate the precision with which the Egyptians built the pyramids. Some researchers argue that the Egyptians must have had access to advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering that was far ahead of its time. Could ancient civilizations have known things about the universe that modern science has only recently uncovered? Some theories even suggest that these civilizations may have had access to a form of knowledge that was lost when their societies collapsed. If this knowledge existed, could it hold the key to unlocking the universe's deepest mysteries? Are the answers we seek not just in the future, but hidden in the ruins of long-forgotten cultures? The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most enduring and mysterious phenomena in the world, consistently captivating the public's imagination for decades. This area of the ocean, roughly triangular in shape, spans from the coast of Florida to the island of Bermuda and then to Puerto Rico. Over the years, the Bermuda Triangle has become infamous for the mysterious disappearances of ships, airplanes, and people, most notably, without any trace or explanation. Although much of the narrative surrounding the Bermuda Triangle is sensationalized, the reality of these disappearances is far more intriguing and complex than we might think. The area has become a kind of liminal space between the known and the unknown, where science, myth, and superstition collide. It is the intersection of logical reasoning and the mysteries of the universe that we are unable to completely understand. Theories about the Bermuda Triangle range from the highly plausible to the fantastical. Many scientists attribute the disappearances to human error, unpredictable weather, or navigational malfunctions, with a particular focus on the influence of sudden storms or unstable air pockets. Some even suggest that the region's high traffic, being a heavily traveled area for both ships and aircraft, simply increases the likelihood of accidents and incidents. One widely discussed theory is the magnetic anomaly theory. This theory proposes that the Bermuda Triangle contains areas where magnetic fields behave unusually, which can interfere with navigational instruments like compasses. This could cause pilots and sailors to become disoriented, leading them off course and into dangerous waters or the unpredictable air currents. The Earth's magnetic field is known to shift, and this theory hinges on the idea that some regions of the Bermuda Triangle could be more prone to sudden magnetic fluctuations than others. While this explanation is plausible, it doesn't fully account for the sheer number of disappearances that have occurred. One of the most perplexing and widely discussed cases is Flight 19, which involved 5 US Navy bombers that vanished in December 1945 during a routine training flight over the Bermuda Triangle. The flight was fully equipped with experienced pilots and adequate fuel, but somehow all 5 planes disappeared without a trace. There were no distress signals, no signs of mechanical failure, and no extreme weather conditions that could explain what happened. The mystery surrounding this disappearance has only deepened over time, with some researchers suggesting that the aircraft could have flown into an unknown vortex, or even into an alternate dimension. The vortex theory, which remains highly speculative and unsupported by evidence, suggests that the Bermuda Triangle could act as a kind of interdimensional portal. This theory proposes that the area might be a doorway to another realm of existence, either a different dimension or a part of space-time, where time and space behave unpredictably. Some proponents of this theory argue that objects and people passing through the Bermuda Triangle may be transported to another time or place altogether, accounting for the inexplicable disappearances. While this theory is tantalizing, it lacks scientific support and remains firmly in the realm of pseudoscience. Nonetheless, it speaks to the mystery and allure of the Bermuda Triangle, a place where the boundaries of reality seem to blur. Despite decades of investigation, no conclusive explanation has been reached, and many of the disappearances remain unresolved. Some skeptics argue that the entire phenomenon is nothing more than myth and folklore. They point out that the number of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle is no greater than in any other similarly busy region of the ocean. But for others, the continuing mystery of the Bermuda Triangle represents a profound challenge to our understanding of the natural world, and raises the question of whether some mysteries are beyond our ability to fully explain. The Bermuda Triangle remains one of the most enigmatic areas on Earth, with the answer still out of our grasp. Will we ever truly understand what happens in this strange region? The placebo effect is one of the most profound and perplexing phenomena in modern medicine. In its simplest form, the placebo effect occurs when patients experience real, measurable improvements in their health after taking an inactive substance, such as a sugar pill or saline injection, simply because they believe it will work. Despite the lack of active ingredients, the patient's condition can improve significantly, often in ways that are just as dramatic as the effects of active medications. This phenomenon has been observed in countless clinical trials, with some studies showing that up to 30% or more of participants respond to placebo treatments. On the surface, the placebo effect seems almost magical. How can someone's belief in a treatment lead to real physiological changes in their body? This question has intrigued doctors, researchers, and philosophers for centuries. The placebo effect challenges the very foundations of modern medicine, as it suggests that the mind plays a much more powerful role in healing than we have previously understood. Traditionally, medicine has been seen as a discipline based on objective facts and biological mechanisms. The placebo effect, however, defies this paradigm by showing that the belief in a treatment can, in itself, trigger changes in the body's chemistry and even alter disease progression. Recent research has attempted to explain the placebo effect through the lens of the mind-body connection. It is known that the brain can influence bodily functions in profound ways. For example, emotional stress can affect the immune system, and chronic anxiety can increase the risk of developing heart disease. The placebo effect may work in a similar way. The patient's belief that a treatment will help triggers the brain to release certain chemicals such as endorphins or dopamine that promote healing. These chemicals can enhance immune function, reduce pain, and improve overall well-being. The placebo effect is, in essence, a psychological phenomenon that has tangible physical consequences. However, while these explanations offer some insight into the mechanics of the placebo effect, they fail to explain the full scope of the phenomenon. Some patients experience dramatic recoveries after receiving placebos, even in the absence of any clear psychological or emotional triggers. Others experience side effects from placebo symptoms that are typically associated with the active drug being tested, even though the substance administered contains no active ingredients. This raises the question: if belief alone can have such a powerful effect on the body, what does it say about our understanding of consciousness and the mind? The placebo effect may be a window into the untapped potential of the human mind. If we can harness the power of belief to heal the body, what else might we be able to achieve through the mind-body connection? Could we use the placebo effect to treat conditions that are traditionally considered incurable, such as chronic pain or even cancer? Some researchers believe that the placebo effect could be a key to unlocking the future of medicine, suggesting that by better understanding the mechanisms behind it, we may be able to develop more effective treatments in the future. But what if the placebo effect is merely scratching the surface of a much deeper connection between the mind and body, one that could fundamentally change how we approach healing and wellness? Near-death experiences, NDEs, are often reported by people who have had close encounters with death, such as during heart attacks, accidents, or surgeries. These experiences frequently involve vivid, and often consistent elements, such as a sense of floating above one's body, moving through a tunnel of light, or encountering deceased loved ones or spiritual beings. Despite the consistency of these reports, scientists remain divided on their true nature. Are NDEs the result of brain activity during the dying process, or do they point to something beyond the physical body, something spiritual or transcendent? NDEs have been described in remarkable detail by individuals from all walks of life, and the descriptions of these experiences often bear striking similarities, even across different cultures and belief systems. Common elements include feelings of peace, floating above one's body, and a sense of moving towards a light or a presence. Some individuals report meeting deceased relatives or experiencing a life review where they relive moments from their past. This consistency in the accounts of NDEs raises intriguing questions. Are these experiences merely the result of oxygen deprivation in the brain? Or could they be evidence of a spiritual journey beyond the physical realm? One of the most compelling aspects of NDEs is that they often lead to profound changes in the individuals who experience them. Many report a renewed sense of peace, a decreased fear of death, and an increased sense of spirituality. Some people who have had NDEs undergo significant shifts in their values and priorities, leading them to adopt more compassionate and altruistic behaviors. This has led some to speculate that NDEs might provide glimpses into an afterlife or a higher plane of existence. Could these experiences be evidence that consciousness exists beyond the physical brain? Are they glimpses into another dimension of reality that we cannot fully comprehend in our normal state of consciousness? However, skeptics argue that NDEs are nothing more than the result of chemical processes in the brain during the dying process. The lack of a definitive explanation for these experiences has fueled debates about the nature of consciousness itself. Could NDEs provide insight into the question of what happens after death? Or are they simply a product of the brain's response to stress and trauma? The nature of consciousness remains one of the greatest mysteries in science. Consciousness is what allows us to experience the world around us, to think, feel, and be aware of our own existence. It's the essence of what makes us human. Yet, despite centuries of inquiry by philosophers, scientists, and psychologists, we still don't fully understand what consciousness is, where it comes from, or why it exists at all. There are many competing theories about consciousness. One of the most widely accepted is the emergent theory, which suggests that consciousness arises from the complexity of neural processes in the brain. According to this view, consciousness is simply a byproduct of the brain's intricate network of neurons and synapses. However, while this theory offers a plausible explanation for how consciousness might arise, it doesn't explain how subjective experiences what it feels like to be you or me emerge from the brain's physical processes. Some researchers have proposed that consciousness might be a quantum phenomenon. According to this theory, consciousness arises from the interactions of quantum particles in the brain, rather than from classical neural processes. This idea is still highly speculative, but it has gained some traction among physicists and philosophers, particularly in light of quantum mechanics' strange properties, such as superposition and entanglement. Could consciousness be an inherent property of the universe, like gravity or electromagnetism, waiting to be understood? Others argue that consciousness might be a non-local phenomenon, existing outside the brain and connected to the fundamental fabric of reality. This idea suggests that consciousness is not limited to the individual, but is somehow tied to a universal consciousness that permeates all of existence. Could consciousness be a fundamental aspect of the universe itself? If so, what implications does this have for our understanding of reality and the nature of existence? The mystery of consciousness serves as a reminder that for all our scientific achievements, there are still fundamental questions that remain unanswered. Is consciousness something we can measure, observe, and quantify? Or is it an enigma that will forever elude our understanding? The quest to understand consciousness may be one of the most profound journeys of human inquiry, and it may hold the key to unlocking the deepest mysteries of the universe. Spontaneous human combustion, SHC, is one of the most bizarre and unsettling phenomena ever reported. In several documented cases, individuals have been reported to burst into flames without any external ignition source, leaving behind only ashes and charred remains. The exact cause of SHC is still unknown, and despite numerous investigations, no single explanation has been able to account for the phenomenon. SHC has been recorded throughout history, with some of the earliest accounts dating back to the 17th century. In these cases, victims are often found burned to a degree that is disproportionate to the damage to their surroundings. For example, in some SHC cases, entire rooms remain largely intact, while the victim's body is reduced to ashes. Some researchers have suggested that a chemical reaction inside the body might be responsible for the phenomenon, but this theory has not been proven. Others argue that the combustion may be linked to an unusual combination of factors, such as a buildup of gases in the body, a spark from static electricity, or even an undetected medical condition like a slow burn from alcohol consumption or an undiagnosed metabolic disorder. Despite the various hypotheses, no one theory has been able to conclusively explain SHC. Could it be the result of rare chemical reactions inside the body that cause it to ignite spontaneously? Or is there something far more mysterious at play? Something beyond our current understanding of biology and chemistry? The existence of these mysterious phenomena profoundly impacts our understanding of the world and the universe, challenging both the scope and the limitations of human knowledge. When science confronts something it cannot explain, it forces us to re-examine our place in the cosmos. It encourages a more reflective approach, asking not only what we know, but also how we know it, and whether the methods we use are capable of comprehending all that exists. Each unexplained event, from the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle to the curious power of the placebo effect, challenges us to look beyond the confines of traditional science and consider that our understanding of reality might not be as complete as we once thought. These phenomena force us to embrace a profound uncertainty about the limits of human cognition, perception, and technology. The unanswered questions surrounding these phenomena also lead to profound existential inquiries. They make us wonder about our place in the universe, whether we are truly in control of our fate, or whether we are part of a much larger, more mysterious cosmic order. The Bermuda Triangle, for instance, raises questions about our ability to navigate not just the physical world, but also the more metaphysical spaces we inhabit. If we, as humans, cannot even explain how certain vessels or aircraft disappear without a trace, what does that imply about the larger forces at play in the universe? The Bermuda Triangle implies that there are forces, perhaps even forces that stretch beyond the laws of space, time, and gravity, that can alter the fate of human lives at random, without explanation. Similarly, the placebo effect challenges our conception of physical reality by suggesting that belief itself, what we think and feel, can have tangible consequences on our bodies. This powerful connection between mind and body raises deep questions about the nature of consciousness and reality itself. How is it that belief can trigger real biological changes in a person's health? Could the mind be far more powerful than we have ever imagined? This insight leads us to ask whether the mind is simply a function of the brain, or whether it may be an independent force capable of shaping the material world. Are we scratching the surface of a deeper connection between mind, body, and perhaps the universe itself? Such mysteries suggest a reality where the lines between science and spirituality blur. As each new question arises from these unexplained phenomena, it forces us to contemplate our deeper connection to the cosmos. Are we truly separate from the universe? Or are we intrinsically tied to its complex fabric in ways we don't yet understand? The inability to explain certain phenomena has profound implications for the future of science. While science has brought us immeasurable progress in areas such as technology, medicine, and physics, it is also an ever-evolving process. As we confront more mysteries, we come to realize that some questions may remain unanswered for generations, if not forever. This uncertainty, which can be both humbling and frustrating for the scientific community, also underscores the very essence of science itself. The pursuit of knowledge is never static, and the quest for truth is an ongoing journey. Scientific uncertainty is not a sign of failure. Rather, it is a testament to the ongoing nature of discovery. The very fact that we don't have all the answers means there is still so much to explore and uncover. Each unanswered question, such as those surrounding dark matter, the placebo effect, or near-death experiences, offers a glimpse into the vast unknown, urging scientists to push the boundaries of their theories and venture into uncharted territories. Every unresolved phenomenon is an opportunity for innovation, demanding that we rethink existing paradigms and formulate new approaches to understanding the universe. However, this uncertainty also highlights the limitations of human intellect and technology. When confronted with anomalies that do not fit into existing theories, scientists must grapple with the frustration of their current understanding being inadequate to explain the full range of the universe's complexity. The tension between the known and the unknown creates a sense of intellectual urgency. There is so much left to learn, but some mysteries might forever evade our grasp. While uncertainty can drive innovation and encourage scientists to think outside the box, it can also be a source of deep frustration, as the quest for understanding leads to more questions rather than answers. Beyond the realm of science, these unsolved mysteries also have a profound cultural impact. When science fails to provide answers, people often turn to folklore, superstition, and mythology to explain the unknown. The Bermuda Triangle, for example, has been the subject of countless conspiracy theories, with some suggesting it is a hotspot for alien activity, time warps, or even underwater civilizations. Similarly, spontaneous human combustion has led to theories involving mystical forces, invoking images of witchcraft or divine retribution. These stories, though not scientifically grounded, fuel the imagination of generations, perpetuating a belief in the supernatural and the possibility of forces beyond human comprehension. These phenomena, often dismissed by the scientific community, hold significant cultural and spiritual meaning for many. Whether it's the Bermuda Triangle, the placebo effect, or near-death experiences, these events are often woven into the fabric of popular culture, reflecting humanity's need to make sense of the unexplainable. For example, near-death experiences are frequently interpreted through religious and spiritual frameworks, with many viewing them as evidence of an afterlife or the continuation of consciousness after death. Whether these experiences are truly supernatural or simply a psychological response to trauma, they shape how we think about life, death, and what lies beyond. These mysteries influence more than just individual belief systems. They have become cultural touchstones, forming the basis for books, movies, and television shows that further blur the line between fact and fiction. The Bermuda Triangle, for instance, has been immortalized in pop culture as a place where reality itself seems to warp, leading to countless theories about what might be happening there. Whether we view these stories as myth or truth, they shape how we interact with the world and influence the stories we tell about ourselves and our place in the universe. These unsolved mysteries also raise profound philosophical questions about the nature of knowledge, perception, and reality itself. If certain phenomena remain beyond the scope of scientific explanation, what does this say about the nature of knowing something? What does it mean to know something? And how does our limited understanding shape our perception of the universe? The mysteries surrounding the Bermuda Triangle, spontaneous human combustion, or the placebo effect challenge us to reconsider the boundaries of human knowledge. Are these mysteries simply beyond our current intellectual capacity to comprehend, or do they reveal the limitations of human perception? Are we truly limited by the tools and methods we use to understand the world? Or is there something more to reality that we cannot yet fathom? Philosophers have long grappled with questions of perception, reality, and knowledge, but these mysteries push those boundaries further, urging us to confront the limits of what we can know. The very existence of phenomena like near-death experiences forces us to ask whether there is a non-material aspect of existence. Are we truly just physical beings, biological machines driven by chemical processes? Is there something more to consciousness and reality that transcends the physical world? These questions lead us to explore the distinction between the physical and the metaphysical, challenging the reductionist view of the universe and offering a more holistic perspective on existence. Could it be that the boundary between the material and immaterial realms is not as clear-cut as we once thought? These mysteries also compel us to reconsider the limits of science itself. If science can't explain certain phenomena, does that mean they are beyond our comprehension? Or does it simply mean that we have yet to develop the right tools, frameworks, or perspectives to understand them? In many ways, these unanswered questions challenge the very foundation of scientific inquiry, prompting us to reconsider our understanding of what constitutes knowledge and how it is acquired. As we delve deeper into these mysteries, we are confronted with the profound reality that the quest for knowledge is not just about finding answers. It's about embracing the unknown. The pursuit of understanding, while often driven by the desire for concrete answers, also involves the acceptance of uncertainty. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe, we must learn to live with questions that may never be fully answered. The pursuit of knowledge, then, is not a linear journey from ignorance to understanding. It is an ongoing process of discovery, wonder, and contemplation. In many ways, the very act of questioning, of confronting the unknown, is what drives human progress. The mysteries we encounter on our journey through life, whether in science, philosophy, or spirituality, serve as reminders that the world is far more complex than we could ever imagine. They challenge us to rethink our assumptions, to push the boundaries of our understanding, and to remain open to new possibilities. As we move forward, we may never fully understand these mysteries, but in our pursuit of answers, we may find that the questions themselves are just as important as the solutions. They push us to think more deeply, to question more rigorously, and to embrace the vastness of the unknown. And in doing so, we continue our journey not just toward knowledge, but toward a deeper understanding of what it means to be human. The mysteries we've explored, whether it's the enigmatic disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle, the perplexing nature of spontaneous human combustion, or the profound experiences of near-death phenomena, far from being exclusive to the minds of scientists and intellectuals. These phenomena captivate the general public, sparking widespread curiosity, wonder, and often fear. Their allure is more than just a scientific curiosity. They are at the heart of widespread debates, fueled by popular culture and woven into the fabric of human imagination. Why do these particular mysteries evoke such a powerful and visceral reaction from the public? Why do we feel compelled to keep returning to them, even as science struggles to provide answers? One of the central reasons these mysteries capture the public's imagination is the sense of the unknown. Humans are, by nature, curious creatures. We are driven to explore, to seek understanding, and to answer questions about the world around us. When we encounter something that doesn't make sense or appears to defy the laws of nature, it becomes a riddle, a challenge begging to be solved. These unsolved mysteries are especially compelling because they represent the limits of our understanding spaces, where the rational scientific explanations falter, and where there is room for imagination, speculation, and the unknown. Take, for example, the Bermuda Triangle, a geographic region that has been the subject of intrigue for centuries. The fact that ships and planes can disappear without a trace in this particular area challenges our basic understanding of navigation, safety, and physics. While we are familiar with the vast expanse of the oceans, the idea that something can simply vanish without explanation taps into deep, primal fears and wonder. The Bermuda Triangle does not just embody unexplained disappearances. It evokes the idea that unknown force is beyond our comprehension might be at work. Whether it is the suggestion of underwater portals, magnetic anomalies, or the fantastical idea of time warps, the Bermuda Triangle continuously draws us back to its mysteries. The fear of the unknown, combined with the intrigue of what could possibly lie behind such disappearances, fuels an endless cycle of speculation, providing fertile ground for both scientists and those with a taste for the supernatural. This sense of mystery is not just confined to the Bermuda Triangle. Other unexplained phenomena, such as spontaneous human combustion, near-death experiences, or the placebo effect, tap into our imagination and cultural consciousness. The very fact that we cannot neatly fit these events into existing frameworks of understanding speaks to something larger, cosmic puzzle that might not be entirely solvable. The mysteries themselves seem to tease us with the possibility that we may be only seeing a tiny fraction of reality. And this sense of limited knowledge is what draws us in. Like any great mystery, there are two dominant perspectives that emerge. In the public discourse, the skeptics and the believers. Skeptics, often relying on logic, reason, and empirical evidence, assert that there are always natural explanations to be found. According to them, phenomena like those in the Bermuda Triangle or cases of spontaneous human combustion can likely be explained by natural causes such as bad weather, navigational errors, or simple coincidence. They might point to more mundane explanations like unusual weather patterns, underwater topography that causes sudden turbulence, or even human error as the ultimate reason for these phenomena. For skeptics, the appeal of these mysteries lies not in supernatural explanations, but in the human tendency to overinterpret rare, unusual events, weaving them into a narrative of the unexplained. Skeptics often argue that while certain occurrences may seem impossible, the laws of nature and our understanding of the world should be enough to demystify them. To them, events like the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle are unfortunate but explainable occurrences. Human error, accidents, or technological malfunctions do happen, especially when navigating unpredictable environments like the sea or the skies. For these individuals, there's nothing inherently mysterious or supernatural about these occurrences. Nature's randomness, aided by the human imagination's tendency to craft explanations when facts are scarce. On the other side of the spectrum are the believers, who look at these mysteries through a lens of possibility beyond the physical world. These individuals are often open to more supernatural, mystical, or spiritual explanations. They might believe that the Bermuda Triangle is a gateway to another dimension, a place where the very fabric of space and time can be altered. When it comes to phenomena like near-death experiences, NDEs, believers often interpret these as glimpses into the afterlife or as evidence of the soul's journey after death. For them, these experiences don't simply represent strange or puzzling events. They point to something larger, a cosmic mystery about the nature of life, death, and the universe itself. The divide between skeptics and believers fuels an ongoing public fascination. It's not just about finding answers, it's about the tension between the rational and the speculative, the scientific and the supernatural. This tension keeps these phenomena alive in the public consciousness as each side continues to present its arguments. Skeptics work to debunk the mysteries, seeking rational explanations, while believers embrace the unknown, offering theories that may seem far-fetched but hold deep spiritual or existential meaning. The skepticism within the scientific community plays an essential role in how mysteries are framed in the public discourse. As a community, scientists are committed to explanations grounded in empirical evidence, and they often resist jumping to conclusions that lack a solid basis in data. Scientific skepticism is driven by the core principle that science must rely on observable, measurable, and reproducible evidence. When it comes to mysteries like the Bermuda Triangle or spontaneous human combustion, many scientists argue that these events, while puzzling, are not proof of supernatural forces or otherworldly phenomena. Instead, they insist that there is likely a rational explanation waiting to be uncovered. Scientists will often dismiss theories involving ghosts, aliens, or paranormal activity because these explanations cannot be tested or verified. For instance, the Bermuda Triangle could be explained by magnetic anomalies affecting navigational equipment, weather phenomena that cause sudden turbulence, or underwater geological formations that create unpredictable currents. Similarly, spontaneous human combustion might eventually be explained by a combination of chemical processes, medical conditions, or the flammability of certain materials within the human body. For scientists, the appeal of these mysteries isn't in their supernatural overtones, but in the scientific challenge they present. An opportunity to uncover natural explanations for seemingly inexplicable phenomena. Despite these reasonable explanations, the lack of concrete evidence often leaves lingering questions. And in the absence of definitive answers, the mysteries remain open to interpretation. For skeptics, the quest is for the rationale, for what can be explained by science. But for believers, the unexplained holds a mystical allure that can't be fully debunked. Belief systems, particularly religious and spiritual beliefs, often play a central role in how these unexplained phenomena are interpreted. When science fails to provide answers, many people turn to spiritual frameworks to make sense of the unknown. This is particularly true when dealing with phenomena like near-death experiences, NDEs, which many individuals interpret as evidence of life beyond death. In various cultures, NDEs are seen as glimpses of the afterlife or as a journey of the soul after death. For many, these experiences confirm a belief in the continuation of consciousness beyond the physical body. Some believe that near-death experiences offer a spiritual awakening, urging individuals to live a more meaningful and compassionate life. These beliefs are not just comforting but deeply impactful, as they give individuals a sense of purpose and understanding. When faced with the otherwise unknowable question of what happens after death. Similarly, the Bermuda Triangle has become a symbol of the unexplained, often tied to paranormal and supernatural explanations. For believers, the area represents a portal or a gateway to alternate dimensions, alien encounters, or ancient extraterrestrial civilizations. The Bermuda Triangle serves as a perfect example of how the unexplained is often interpreted through the lens of cultural and spiritual beliefs, providing a sense of mystical significance to a world that science can't fully comprehend. These belief systems offer alternative explanations for phenomena that remain beyond scientific understanding. They provide meaning and comfort where science has yet to provide answers, making them an essential part of how individuals and cultures interpret these mysteries. In doing so, spiritual and religious beliefs shape the narratives we build around these mysteries, contributing to their ongoing cultural significance. In the digital age, social media has amplified the conversation surrounding unsolved mysteries. Platforms like YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter offer spaces for individuals to share their personal experiences, theories, and questions about phenomena like the Bermuda Triangle, spontaneous human combustion, and near-death experiences. The rise of online communities has democratized the conversation, allowing people to connect with others who share similar interests, beliefs, or experiences. These communities foster an environment of speculation, where personal anecdotes and theoretical explanations thrive. Social media has also played a significant role in the spread of modern-day mysticism. While many of these discussions can be speculative or even misleading, they provide an outlet for exploring alternative explanations for mysteries that have long been dismissed by traditional science. The internet has allowed the blending of spiritualism, conspiracy theories, and scientific inquiry, creating a unique, often eclectic mix of ideas that cross the boundaries of rational and supernatural thinking. At the same time, skeptics have found new platforms to voice their opinions, often challenging the supernatural explanations with critical arguments and evidence. This has created a dynamic and ongoing debate between believers and skeptics, making the conversation about these mysteries more accessible than ever before. Online forums are filled with heated debates, where both sides present their cases, providing new ideas, theories, and personal stories that continue to evolve. The internet has become a breeding ground for modern-day mysticism, but also for critical examination. It is a space where ideas are constantly being tested, modified, and debated, keeping the conversation surrounding these unexplained phenomena alive and dynamic. As we reach the conclusion of our exploration, we must return to the core question that started this journey. What if there are things beyond science's grasp? The mysteries we've discussed, the Bermuda Triangle, spontaneous human combustion, near-death experiences, and many others, are just a few examples of the phenomena that challenge our current understanding of the universe. But despite the answers science has provided us, there is still a vast expanse of unknowns that remains. tantalizingly out of reach. We've seen how science can unravel the laws of nature and reveal the inner workings of the cosmos. But there are still things that don't fit into the neatly defined boxes of scientific knowledge. The mysteries we face today force us to confront the limitations of our intellect, our tools, and our theories. They remind us that no matter how far we've come, there is still so much more to learn. Perhaps the most profound thing about these mysteries is that they challenge us to look beyond the boundaries of current knowledge and imagine that there might be something more out there, reality we haven't yet grasped. So, what happens when science can't explain something? Does it mean that we've reached the end of the line? Or does it signal a new beginning, an invitation to explore deeper, to push the limits of our understanding and uncover truths that might completely alter our perception of reality? These questions are at the heart of the scientific journey, and there would continue to drive humanity's quest for knowledge. Despite the challenges, the future of science is full of promise. As we've seen, the mysteries that remain are not roadblocks, but stepping stones. They push us to think in new ways, to develop better tools, and to rethink the very foundations of our theories. With advances in technology, such as more powerful telescopes, quantum computers, and deeper understanding of brain science, we are on the brink of unlocking new realms of knowledge. What we don't understand today might be within our grasp tomorrow. The scientific community is continually evolving, and as we continue to investigate the unknown, new theories and discoveries are bound to emerge. Dark matter may one day be understood. The placebo effect may reveal more about the power of the mind, and perhaps the mystery of consciousness will be unraveled. But even if we don't have all the answers, the search itself is vital to our progress. The pursuit of knowledge is not just about solving problems, it's about expanding the horizons of human understanding, and it's a journey that will never truly end. Even as we search for answers, there is something inherently beautiful about the mysteries that remain. It's the unknown that fuels our curiosity, the desire to understand the world around us, and the search for meaning in our lives. Without mystery, there would be no questions, no exploration, and no discovery. The unanswered questions are what push us forward, what inspire us to look deeper into the nature of existence, to challenge the status quo, and to dream of what lies beyond the stars. In a way, the mysteries themselves are as important as the answers. They remind us that there is always more to discover, that our understanding is never final, and that we must remain open to the possibility that the universe is far stranger than we can imagine. It is this sense of wonder that has driven science forward for centuries and will continue to propel us into the future. As we close this exploration of the mysteries that challenge science, we are left with more questions than answers. The truth is, we may never fully comprehend these phenomena, but that doesn't make them any less significant. Whether these mysteries are eventually explained by science or remain forever beyond our grasp, they are part of what makes the universe so fascinating. Whatever happens next, humanity will have to confront the truth. The truth could change the course of history, and it could change the way we view ourselves, our place in the universe, and the very nature of reality. The journey of discovery is far from over, and while we may not have all the answers, we can continue to ask the questions that matter. The pursuit of knowledge will always be an endless journey, but it is one worth taking. And as we continue to explore the unknown, we may find that the most profound discoveries are not just the ones we uncover, but the questions that drive us to keep searching.